Hey everybody, David Jacobs with Akurate Dynamics. Today we got a really cool tour video for you. We've got an 18-foot CPS unit here, and we're going to kind of walk you through and show you the kind of components that go into our builds. Obviously right here we have a hose rack and we have our segmented heated hose. This is 200 foot with a 3-foot non-heated lip. All of ours come with Velcro for easy access. If the customer has to replace a hose in here, we independently replace the A and the B. It's actually a pretty fast process. This particular unit is actually my demo rig. So I did something a little different. I wanted to show how we can lay out the feed, essentially. So on the B side, we run transfer pumps, and on the ISO side, we are running our 110-gallon CPS totes. These can be put together, they're modular, so they can be stacked side by side. They come with a 1-horse electric motor, gear pump, tote control box, and everything you see here is a package. This can be put on any proportioner on the market. Like I said, they can be tied together. They can run independent. We run nitrogen into them, so later on in the build process, we'll show you our nitrogen generator. But essentially, the reason why we run on the ISO is this rig will never, ever, ever have crystallization in it, ever. The nitrogen gets pumped in from our system. It's an inert gas, heavier than oxygen, so it's going to float down and create a blanket over top of the ISO. And as long as air and moisture is not getting to the ISO, that process of the MBI gelling up and crystallization will not start taking place. So essentially, this could probably sit for a year. We could shake it. There'd be no visible ISO line. So amazing investment for your business. And me personally, I don't think there's any other way to spray. So next in our system on their totes, we have basket strainers. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows how the Y strainers are. The ISO gets up at the thread. These are really, really awesome to have. You can actually check your filter while the system's actually loaded. I just cut these off. No lithium to throw back on there. It's just pretty much a lid and 2 bolts. Next, we have our refrigerated air dryer. We have it elevated 16 inches off the floor, and this thing's currently running. This is an AC unit to keep our 245s or our HFOs cooled down in the summer months, or our sprayers. We get hot. Next is our CPS unit. We have 2 types of proportioners at Akurate for now. And how we classify them is obviously by volume. So this would be closer to like a 22 pound a minute unit. We have a HV unit, which is $2,000 more, and it produces around, I'd say, 43 pounds a minute. So this is going to be our smaller unit. Hooked up, obviously, gear pumps, heaters, everything we need there. Moving on, as you guys can see, we've got black tubes coming out of the walls here. We got one on this side, one on the other. Those are for our 12-volt Sbar diesel heater. Awesome way to heat your rigs in the wintertime. It runs off of 12-volt power, which is hooked to a deep cycle battery up front. We get about 16 hours runtime out of 1 battery charge. So essentially you'll have to hook up shore power, but we're getting around 11,000 BTUs of 12-volt battery power with our diesel. We pull from a reservoir tank that our generator feeds off of, and it feeds the diesel. Highly recommend these. Anything that you guys see in this video that you guys want to maybe incorporate to your rig, you guys can give us a call at Akurate, and we can sell this to you, whether it be our heaters or our totes or adding hoses, Deltalite boxes, etc. Moving on, we're going to come here to our toolbox. Obviously, Akurate green toolbox. It's lifted up off the floor for work height. So repairing guns is very, very simple. You can put a wood top on this, rubber top, whatever you'd like on here. The drawers are actually lockable drawers, so they do not come out moving down the road. You simply pick up and lock. They also have a locking feature. All of these rig's going to have our standard PPE package and our SDS MSDS holders. And moving around the front, we will take you guys to the engine room. Okay, this is our engine room. It's about 6 feet in length on our V-noses. Both come in 18s and 22s. We build a dividing wall. This particular room is non-insulated. Everything from the dividing wall back is fully insulated. This does not have our winter package, which would include a second heater and foam underneath. However, this is probably going to be our down south unit where you guys really aren't worried about the really cold, frigid months. What we have in here, this is our Tier 4 generator, air compressor combo unit. This particular unit is a 2530. We also sell a 4030 as well. What you're going to get is a diesel Tier 4 with a belt drive 30 CFM rotary screw roto comp compressor, bulletproof, terrific. On the wall behind me is our accumulator tank for our air compressor with a regulator, air water separator. We also have the refrigerated air dryer in the other room. Sitting here we spoke about is our nitrogen generator. Essentially what we're doing, in order to make nitrogen, you have two options. You could refill a tank, or we can deplete the oxygen out of the air that we're breathing in the compressor, run it through a membrane, it strips our trace gases and our oxygen. What's left over is 97% pure nitrogen. It gets pumped to a tank at 100 psi, then we have a regulator here that is dosing that at 2 psi to our totes. So you never have to refill your nitrogen. This is something that's going to be, as long as you got compressed air going to it, you guys are going to be able to produce nitrogen on the spot. So nothing to refill. This in itself, to not have crystallization in your systems, is a huge thing. If anybody that's ever fought crystals, you know what it's cost you over the time. This is around $3,700, $3,800. It's a one-time fee to never have crystals. So that's about it. So if you guys have any questions, get a hold of Akurate Dynamics. Thanks.